9 stories, 9 truths you will understand after reading them. Story 1. The women's bathroom caught fire. The people inside were in a mess. They ran out only to see a large crowd of flowers on the street. An old man shouted, "Cover it up!" The ladies of Rolls-Royce suddenly woke up, but there were 3 important parts of their bodies, and they couldn't cover them up in a hurry, and they didn't know what to do. At this time the old man shouted again, "Just cover his face. The following are all the same." The important takeaway of this story is that in special circumstances, grasping the work cannot be exhaustive. What needs to be done is the key. Story 2. One day, a female secretary said with a solemn look, "Mr. Lin, I am pregnant." Mr. Lin continued to look down at the documents and then said with a faint smile, "I have already made slag." The female secretary was stunned for a while and said with a smile, "I am joking with you." Mr. Lin raised his head and glanced at her, took a sip of tea and said, "I am joking with you too." The important revelation of this story is that people who are messing around in the rivers and lakes do not panic when encountering problems, calm down, and then think about what to do. Story 3. A man went to propose marriage. The woman's parents said, "Please introduce yourself." A said, "I have 10 million. B said, "I have a mansion." "Just ask C, what do you have at home?" C replied, "I don't have anything. I only have one child in your daughter's belly." At this time, A and B both reluctantly left. The important tip of this story is that the core competency is not money and houses, it is people who have their own in key positions. Story 4. 7 years ago, he abandoned his fiancée in order to go abroad. Now that his career is successful, he begins to feel guilty. I heard that he is not doing very well. Then he wanted to make up for the debt he owed to his fiancée. Then he went to his fish stall, saw him selling fish, squatting next to a baby boy. Looks a little like him. His heart was shocked. His fiancée suddenly found him, immediately pointed to the man in the stall next door. "Why don't you cook for your children?" Then he breathed a sigh of relief, turned around and walked away. Afterwards, the fiancée handed a cigarette to the man at the stall next door and said, "Sorry, thank you for acting with me just now." And the important hint of this story is that you are not willing to be a burden to you, and you are not willing to spend your life with guilt. Story 5. The father was washing the car, and the son picked up a small stone and scraped it on the car door. The father saw this and was furious, grabbing a wrench and hitting him with it. Later the child was rushed to the hospital. It was confirmed that his hand was fractured. Facing his father, the son spoke softly, "Dad, my fingers will be okay. Don't worry." The father was consumed with guilt. In a fit of rage, he went back and smashed his own car. Then he saw the marks his son had made, but it said, "Daddy, I love you." The important takeaway of this story is, it's often better for me to make a decision after seeing things clearly. Story 6. There was a mother and son lion on the grassland. The little lion asked the mother lion, "Mom, where is happiness?" The lioness said, "Happiness is in your tail." So the little lion kept running after its tail, but never caught up with it. The lioness laughed and said, "Silly, you don't get happiness this way. As long as you walk forward with your head held high, happiness will always follow you." The important lesson of this story is, it's better to bravely move forward than to deliberately pursue. How far will success be? Story 7. There was a blind little girl who had nothing but her boyfriend. Her boyfriend asked her, "If your eyes got better, would you marry me?" The girl agreed to his request. Soon she found a new cornea transplant and regained her eyesight quickly. But then she discovered that her boyfriend was also blind. At this time, the boyfriend proposed to her, but the girl refused. In the end, the boy only said one thing, "Take care of my eyes." The big takeaway from this story is, take good care of my eyes. Story 8. When she proposed to him, she only said 3 words, "Believe in me." When she gave birth to his first daughter, he told her that she had worked hard. On the day of their daughter's wedding, he put his arm around her shoulder and said, "And me." On the day he knew she was critically ill, he repeatedly told her, "I am here." The moment he was about to leave, he kissed her forehead and whispered, "Wait for me." In this life, he never once told her, "I love you." but love never left. The key takeaway from this story is, there are people in this world who won't confess, but who says they must lack love. Story 9. The son couldn't afford to support his elderly mother, so he decided to carry her up a mountain and leave her there. In the evening, the son said he would carry his mother up the mountain for a walk. The mother exhaustedly climbed onto his back, and he intended to climb a little higher and then leave her behind. When he saw his mother secretly scattering beans on the road behind him, he asked angrily, "Why are you scattering beans?" As a result, his mother's answer made him cry. "Silly son, I'm afraid that you'll get lost when you go down the mountain alone." The big takeaway from this story is, the love from your parents stays with you all your life, even when they are old. I reproduced these 9 stories, and after reading them, I was deeply moved, so I made them into animations to share with you. Stories may not be just stories, they contain profound truths, and as long as we are good at understanding, we will definitely benefit immensely.